Okay, so hello everyone. Welcome to Anuj Jindal. Welcome to RBI 247 session. Tell me if everything is fine with the audio and the video so that we can start with the session. Till then, good evening everyone. Good evening Pratima. Good evening Bano. Good evening Anushka. Good evening Akshit. Okay. Thank you Pratima. Thank you Anushka for confirming. Thank you Yogendra. Let's just begin with our session. Good evening Binod. Okay. So here we are with our four topics as usual. हम फोर ही टॉपिक्स लेते हैं एंड here we are with the first topic which says SEBI partners with the DigiLocker. ठीक है, तो we will see what is this partnership, why there was a need to have such partnership and what is happening actually here and what do we mean by DigiLocker as well. Then we have second news which says SEBI lowers the minimum investment for SSEs. ठीक है, we will read what is SSEs, how and why they have minimized such investment limit. And then we have net direct tax collection for the financial year 25. Again, very important data. आ सकता है क्वेश्चन फेज वन में, फेज टू में भी इसके चांसेस है. सो वी आर गोइंग टू हैव अ लुक ऑन दैट एज वेल एंड व्हाट इज द ट्रेंड एंड व्हाट इज द मेन रीजन, द मेन ड्राइवर व्हाई देयर इज अ राइज और डिक्रीज इन सच कलेक्शन. Then we have one news related to concerns in IBC NFRA recommendations recommended by the standing committee. ठीक है, तो एक पार्लियामेंट स्टैंडिंग कमेटी है जिन्होंने रिकमेंड की हैं कुछ चीजें और हाईलाइट की हैं कुछ प्रॉब्लम्स इन द आईबीसी एंड एनएफआरए के अंदर. सो वी आर गोइंग टू सी व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम. ठीक है, हमने आईबीसी के बारे में वैसे तो बहुत कुछ पढ़ा है, ठीक है, कि हाउ इट हेल्प्स द बैंकिंग सेक्टर, हाउ इट इज डूइंग इट्स ऑल वर्क इफेक्टिवली. बट जब भी प्रॉब्लम्स की बात होती है तो आईबीसी में जो प्रॉब्लम्स होती हैं वो अच्छे से निकल कर नहीं आती. तो थ्रू दिस we can say news, we can write things like what is the main problem with the IBC or what we are looking forward. ठीक है, तो हम जो हमारा कंक्लूजन होता है डिस्क्रिप्टिव आंसर्स में वो हमारा थोड़ा फॉरवर्ड लुकिंग होता है कि व्हाट वी आर एक्सपेक्टिंग, हाउ थिंग्स हैज टू बी चेंज. तो वो चीजें इस तरह के आर्टिकल से या फिर इस तरह की रिकमेंडेशन से आती है जो स्पेशली इस तरह की मेजर कमेटीज करती हैं. ओके, सो लेट्स हैव अ लुक. सो द फर्स्ट इज सेबी पार्टनर्स विद द डिजीलॉकर. ठीक है, तो एक ओवरव्यू ले लेते हैं व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन दिस न्यूज. सो बेसिकली व्हाट हैपेंस, द इन्वेस्टर इन्वेस्ट इन द स्टॉक मार्केट. व्हेनेवर दे इन्वेस्ट इन द स्टॉक मार्केट, they keep a lot of documentation, they keep accounts for different kind of things, they keep different accounts for the mutual fund accounts, they keep different account for demat account wherever they keep their all the funds, and then they have some other you can say some documents related to the investment that they have made so far. Whenever there is a death of that investor, there is no one who is claiming for that shares, there is no one who is claiming for that asset. So basically there are many, we can say huge number of funds or huge number of assets are there with the SEBI that are not being claimed by any of the nominee of that investor, and this was creating a lot of problem for the SEBI. So what SEBI did, SEBI said that DigiLocker, we will use DigiLocker. What is DigiLocker? DigiLocker is nothing but it is a platform wherein one can store their documents in a digitalized form. One can also access their documents in a digitalized form from the authentic sources. So this is how they are partnering these two concepts in the DigiLocker. So they are going to use this DigiLocker platform to access all the information related to investments, and in case there is a death of the investor, the nominee can easily claim such things. Currently, the nomination process of such asset transmission is very difficult and very complex, and that is the reason many of the nominee don't go with such we can say nomination or don't go with such claims. And that is the reason, in order to make it more and more easy for the nominees to claim such shares or to claim such assets, they have partnered with the DigiLocker. लेट्स हैव अ लुक ऑन द न्यूज नाउ, ठीक है। तो हमारे पास और भी टेक्निकल पॉइंट्स इसमें से निकल कर आएंगे। हमने एक ओवरव्यू देख लिया कि व्हाट इज हैपनिंग इन द न्यूज। लेट्स हैव अ लुक। सो बेसिकली दिस implementation, that is the partnership of DigiLocker, wherein investors can upload all their documents in such platform, and this will be effective from April 2025. Very important date, and this concept is also very important. I mean, this news is very important from the exam point of view. So SEBI recently allowed investors to use DigiLocker, the digital public infrastructure initiative of the Indian government, to store the digital documents, right? यहाँ तक सब कुछ clear है? Then what was the problem? Obviously there was some problem related to the investors and how they have kept their assets like shares, bonds, mutual funds, right? So what was the problem? That currently the process of asset transmission, अब यहाँ पर asset transmission मैं किसे कह रही हूँ? That the process of transferring the assets, अब यहाँ पर एसेट्स क्या है? बॉन्ड्स, शेयर्स, म्यूचुअल फंड्स, इन सभी एसेट्स को जो ट्रांसफर करने की प्रोसेस है फ्रॉम डिजीज, और वी कैन से द डेथ डिजीज, और वी कैन से जो इन्वेस्टर मर चुका है वहां से टू द एक्चुअल नॉमिनी, ठीक है। तो ये जो प्रोसेस ऑफ ट्रांसफरिंग दीज एसेट्स टू द एक्चुअल नॉमिनी इज नोन एज एसेट ट्रांसमिशन, ठीक है। So they are saying that this process of asset transmission is very complex and require legal formalities, and that is the reason many investors fails to update their contact details, give their nominate legal heads, or inform family members about their investment. तो इस तरह से not only nominees would be able to access such information, also mutual fund companies can also we can say access or can give notification to the nominees regarding the same, because the investor will give all the information regarding their nominees under this DigiLocker. The data says that unclaimed assets are over 2 lakh crore. So there are this much, we can say, huge number of assets that are being unclaimed with the SEBI, and these include equity shares, fixed deposits, bonds, and other instruments. In most of the situation, the money flows into an investors protection fund. Now investor protection funds are the fund that are been regulated by the SEBI, wherein all the unclaimed funds are being stored there. In case there is one nominee who is claiming their funds, can claim their funds through this fund. Okay, so this move, how this move going to help this investors? So this move going to help the unlock wealth stuck. Whatever wealth has been stuck in this fund will be now unlocked by the nominees, because the process has been eased by the SEBI. And due to which is again due to what reason? Due to incomplete nomination formalities and legal heirs being not aware of their nomination. So that is the reason this is going to make them aware. Now how DigiLocker platform looks like? So this is how it is looking now. They have also advertised the same, that SEBI is being partnered with the DigiLocker. So basically all kind of information from various kind of organization, you can access your documents through this DigiLocker platform, which is very simplified and easy to use, or we can say user friendly platform. So I have put some information regarding the DigiLocker. It was introduced in 2015. Very important year. आपसे year भी पूछा जा सकता है कि when was this introduced, right? So it is a flagship initiative under the Digital India program. It was introduced by Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. Very important information. Then what was the aim of introducing such platform? The aim is to provide citizens with a secure and paperless platform to access and share authentic digital documentation. So यहाँ पर आप DigiLocker से क्या क्या कर सकते हैं? You can access your documents, you can authenticate the same, that documents are from the authenticated we can say organization. मान लीजिए मुझे अपने दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का डॉक्यूमेंट चाहिए, मान लीजिए मुझे अपने दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी की डिग्री चाहिए, तो आई विल गो टू दैट दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी का पोर्टल लाइक गिवन हेयर, जैसे यहाँ पर इंडियन ओवरसीज बैंक का दे रखा है, यहाँ पर देयर वुड बी फॉर द यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ दिल्ली एज वेल, right? So I can access, I'll put my all the information related to my degree, like roll number and so forth, and I can just download the same from this we can say portal. And this is how the degrees are being authenticated, the documents are being authenticated, and you can share the same to another person through this. So which is a very easy process. You can fetch, store and share your documents with other person as well. So how this process will work? So basically DigiLocker can be used to fetch and store statements related to what? Related to Demat account and related to your mutual fund holdings. तो across your different kind of mutual fund companies, अब एक investor है, उसने एक mutual fund company से नहीं, बहुत सारी mutual fund company से investment की हुई है, right? He has invested across various kind of companies, across various kind of mutual fund companies. And ये जो डिजिलॉकर प्लेटफॉर्म है, इट विल एक्सेस ऑल द इंफॉर्मेशन एट वन प्लेस, ठीक है? ऑल इंफॉर्मेशन और ऑल स्टेटमेंट रिलेटेड टू देयर इन्वेस्टमेंट विल बी स्टोर्ड एंड फेच्ड इन सच प्लेटफॉर्म. It will also store the consolidated account statement. This is a summarized form of statements of investment across all mutual fund companies and all companies. The nominee can access your digital DigiLocker after the death of the investor, making it easier for the claim. Now the nominee would be able to access this platform on behalf of you and can manage your assets. In case investor ने सिर्फ उन्हें data access की permission दी हुई है, suppose there is a nominee that has been nominated by the investor wherein they are saying कि ये सिर्फ data access कर सकता है. In that case they will only get read only access. That means they cannot manage or cannot use such funds, but they can read only that information that will be provided to that nominee, but they cannot manage the same. Now same kind of information or same kind of facility is being provided already in the insurance companies and banks, wherein one can access their consolidated financial statement at one place. So this has been already included, or we can say facilitated, in the insurance department or in the banks, right? But now the same was not there in the financial market, and we can say now the use of this DigiLocker has been expanded by the regulator of financial market. So there are few things ki who has to be registered or who has to be participant in this DigiLocker. तो यहाँ पर the DigiLocker, who must integrate with the DigiLocker. So there are few participants. First is asset management company, जिसे हम mutual fund company बोल रहे हैं, registrar and transfer agents, the depositories and the KYC registration agency would be the part, or we can say participants that are going to be integrated with the DigiLocker. Now what is the advantages of having such, we can say, facility? It will reduce the number of unclaimed assets, obviously, and then simplify the process of claiming asset. This was the main aim of such facilitation, and encourage the investors to update their nominee details and reducing legal disputes over inheritance. ठीक है? तो investors को नॉमिनेशंस के लिए प्रॉम्प्ट आएंगे, दैट मीन्स उनको एक पर्टिकुलर इंटरफेस दिया जाएगा फॉर द नॉमिनेशन इटसेल्फ, सो विच इज वेरी यूजफुल फॉर द इन्वेस्टर्स एज वेल, एंड जो रेगुलेटर्स होंगे, जो रिस्पेक्टिव कंपनीज होगी जिनको नॉमिनेशन डिटेल्स की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी, दे कैन एक्सेस द सेम थ्रू दिस प्लेटफॉर्म. Enhancing the transparency and security in the managing financial record, so that will also be a manageable thing. Transparency increase hogi over the period of time. So here we are done with the first news. Let's come to the second news. This is a very easy news. ठीक है, हम समझते हैं क्या कह रही है ये. That SEBI lowers the minimum investment for SSE. ठीक है. Now what is SSE? SSE is Social Stock Exchange. Now this is a different segment of stock exchange. As the name tells you, this is Social Stock Exchange. So all the companies that are doing social work, raise their money through this stock exchange, through this social stock exchange. So all the non-profit organizations and all the companies that are doing social works list themselves in this stock exchange, and whatever funds are being raised through this we can say platform, through this stock exchange, are not returned to the we can say the investor, because the main agenda of these company is not to earn profit on it. So whenever a retail investor or any kind of investor is investing in such companies, they are simply doing the donation for these companies. So what SEBI has done, SEBI has, we can say the finance minister created this social stock exchange with the only agenda of making it easy for these kind of companies to raise funds, because they were not able to raise funds effectively, and that is the reason a separate segment of stock exchange has been introduced by the finance minister. And the agenda was so that these companies can raise their money in an easy manner. Now there was a minimum investment that was required to invest in such SSEs, right? And they have lowered such investment. Earlier it was 10,000, but now it has been reduced to 1,000. That means even a smallest investment is being welcomed here. The agenda is to promote more and more investors from the retail investors. Okay. Now what happened that recently, earlier the minimum investment for purchasing the zero coupon zero principal instruments, अभी हम इसके बारे में पढ़ेंगे, what is this, was 10,000, which limited the participation because the investment was too high. Now a retail investor with a minimum investment of rupees 1,000 can invest in such social companies, in this SSEs. So agenda is to create more and more participation in such segment. So that high net worth individuals and institutional investors can also participate. They were participating already, but again we want more and more retail investors in such case as well. Now we will read about what are this zero coupon zero principal. Now as I told you that whatever investment you made in such kind of company is going to be a kind of donation. So as the name tells you that this is a zero coupon and zero principal. That means you are neither going to get any kind of interest on the investment, and neither you will get any kind of principal back. So basically it is a kind of, we can say, purely donation based investment. You are not going to get any interest and you will not get your principal back as well. So the agenda of this lowering this minimizing the investment limit is to enhance more and more participation of retail investors in the social impact investment. As I told you, what is social stock exchange? It is a special segment. This was introduced by Finance Minister, our Nirmala Sitharaman, wherein they announced the same in the Union Budget of 2019-20. You can remember it. अच्छी information है. And what was the aim of such introducing such segment is to connect social enterprises with the investors, helping them to raise their funds in a transparent manner and in a regulated manner. So I hope this was clear, right? अब हम third news की तरफ चलते हैं, which is more factual, more data based. So basically what has happened that they have released some data related to whatever collection they have made related to tax. So basically the net direct tax collection that has been made for the financial year 25. So as per the news, they say is that the India collected net direct tax which is 21.26 trillion for the financial year 25, which is very important data. Mark this data. This is going to be very important. This can be asked in your examination. Phase 1, phase 2 में आ सकता है. phase 2 में 1 marker में पूछा जा सकता है, and phase 1 में general awareness में पूछा जा सकता है. So basically this has grown by how much percentage? 13.13%. Very easy. ठीक है, याद करना भी आसान रहेगा this percentage को. So I hope this is clear to you. ठीक है, इसमें कुछ समझने वाला नहीं है. You just have to remember this data. And what is the driving force? What has contributed towards this growth? So basically higher corporate and non-corporate advanced taxes have raised. So they are saying that people are paying more and more advanced taxes. That means whatever taxes has been was estimated by the corporates and by the individuals are paying their taxes well in advance to the government, which is a good thing for the government. Whenever they are getting money in well in advance, they can use that funds for other kind of projects as well, which is a very good thing for the government. And they are saying that this rise is just because of this advanced payment tax. Then improved tax compliance. Now people are paying advanced taxes. people are paying, more and more people are paying taxes. This means that people are there is an improvement in the compliance. People are more focusing on the rules and regulation. They are complying with such tax liability. Then increased stock market activity. Now whenever a person or an investor invests in the stock market, they have to pay STT. That is security transaction tax. Now this security transaction tax, as the name tells you, that it is a transaction tax. Transaction tax. So whatever transaction the investor make, they will get, they have to pay a transaction tax. We call it as STT, securities transaction tax. They have to pay this such thing. As we know, I have told you in many of my sessions that investors have increased their participation in the market, in the financial market. And with the increase in the participation in the financial market, there is an increase in the STTs as well. And that is the reason the third, we can say, driving force in such growth is STTs. I hope it is clear. The factors are clear to you. Right? So I have put some information related to what we mean by direct taxes, just a basic information to make it more and more clear for you in case you do not know what is direct taxes. So basically direct taxes, as the name tells you, that whatever you pay directly to the government as a in the form of tax by an individual or by a business on their income or profit. So whatever profits and income that individual or business earn, they pay taxes, some percentage of taxes to the government, and whatever directly they pay to the government is going to be a direct tax. Now there are three kind of sources from where the government gets their direct taxes. The first is income tax, corporate tax, and SCCs. Income tax is for the individuals. Individual pay income tax. Corporate tax, the companies, what companies pay, and STTs from the financial market, investors. Okay, we have already discussed that. So what are advance taxes? Advance taxes are the taxes that are paid in advance. So basically they are paid in 4 installments. Now this can be paid by individual or the businesses. Now there are 4 installments through which the one pay taxes based on their estimated profit, or income. Suppose I estimated that I would have 1 lakh rupees of profit in this financial year 25. So whatever I can pay this, we can say tax liability. Suppose this is a tax liability. This is what I have to pay. Okay, this is my tax liability. This much I have to pay to the government. Instead of paying this at one go, I'll pay this in 4 installments. That is June 15, September 15, December 15, March 15. So this is going to be the percentages. That 15% of the tax liability is paid in June 15, 45% of the tax liability will be paid in September 15, and so on and so forth. This is how I pay my advance taxes. Now there is a regulation, or I can say there is a rule, that as per what rule this advance tax is mandatory for the individual and the companies. So there is a rule. This rule is going to be very important. This can be asked in your examination. That is the reason that I have included it here. So any taxpayer who has a tax liability, अब यहाँ पर टैक्स लाइबिलिटी की बात हो रही है, प्रॉफिट और कितना प्रॉफिट कमाया है, इनकम कमाई है, उसकी बात नहीं हो रही है. सो टैक्स लाइबिलिटी आपकी ज्यादा होनी चाहिए, किससे? 10,000 रुपए से. इन केस यू हैव अ टैक्स लाइबिलिटी ऑफ मोर देन 10,000, you have to pay advance taxes to the government. Now this rule applies to the salaried individuals, businesses, self-employed professional under section 208 of the Income Tax Act. I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. Okay? In case you have any doubt, I'll take it at the end of the session. Don't worry. Okay, then there is data. Now this data is going to be very important. First, they said that more and more, we can say, the first driver of such growth was that there were more and more advanced tax collection. So for the financial year 25, the tax collection for the advanced tax collection is 10.44 trillion. 10.44 trillion. important है ये data. And what was the growth? 14.62%. 14.62% was the growth. Other things that were included, these are going to be a part of this subsection of this. Now this include corporate taxes, and this include what? Non corporate advance taxes as well. So corporate ने कितना contribute किया towards this? 7.57 ट्रिलियन. और नॉन कॉर्पोरेट एडवांस टैक्स में कितना कंट्रीब्यूट किया? 2.87 ट्रिलियन. ठीक है, तो अब आपको इसमें नंबर्स नहीं याद रखने. यू डू नॉट हैव टू रिमेंबर नंबर्स फॉर दीज टू. यू कैन जस्ट रिमेंबर द ट्रेंड दैट द कॉर्पोरेट टैक्स contributed more than the non-corporate. That's it. I hope this is clear. Now, the gross direct tax collection. Now we are talking about the direct tax collection. Okay. So before refunds, before they are paying any kind of refunds, as of March 16, 2025, it is 25.86 trillion, which is very important. Again, the total net direct taxes is 21.26. We have already discussed. It has a growth of 13.13%. If I talk about the non-corporate taxes, they have contributed 11.01 trillion. If I talk about the net corporate taxes, they have contributed 9.69 trillion, which is showing a 7% growth from the previous year. तो ये growth किस में दिखा रहा है? Previous year growth दिखा रहा है. Previous year से कितना growth किया है? Then STT में they have recorded 53,095 crore rupees, which is showing a 56% growth. Huge record. ठीक है, तो ये आपको याद रखना है, because this is very exceptional in case that this time they have recorded 56% of the growth in the STT only. So this is going to be very important for you. Then they have compared the budgeted estimates with the revised estimates. So total direct taxes में they estimated that we will receive 22.07 trillion, but they received 22.37 trillion, which is a good sign, or changes in increased nature, that we received more and more taxes. Income taxes, we budgeted it at 11.87 trillion, but we received 12.57 trillion. SCTs, we estimated it at 37,000 crores, but we received something 55,000 crores. Corporate taxes, it was estimated at 10.20 trillion, but now it has been revised to 9.80, and we can see that there is a decreased growth in terms of budgeted and the revised estimate. I hope it is clear. Now they have also shared some data related to the refunds. Now whatever refunds that are being paid back to the investors, in case the investor has overpaid their taxes and some kind of provision wherein they are being rebated from certain kind of taxes, now these refunds are to be, money are to be paid back to the investor to their tax portal. So how much refund has been paid by the government? If I talk about this period, they have paid 4.60 trillion as a refund, but previous year they have refunded only 3.47 trillion. So we can see that there is an increased trend, increase in whatever refund that this year government made to the investors. I hope it is clear. Factual था बहुत ज़्यादा, कुछ ज़्यादा समझने वाला नहीं था. I have told you what data is important throughout the PPT. Okay, so here we are with the fourth news, wherein they are saying that there are some concerns in the IBC and in the NEFRA, and they have recommended some key reforms for the same. So basically, there was a committee named as Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance. Now this committee is a standing committee. Whenever I use a word standing committee, this means this is a permanent or regular committee. It keeps on looking at the, we can say here they are looking at the finance, right? So they keep on looking at the different kind of departments like Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Corporate Affairs and Statistics and Program, Niti Aayog. They keep on looking at that, and they search problems and different kind of functionings that there is a problem in it. Okay? And they also recommend the same. Okay? Recommendations देते हैं wherein they can improve such things. I hope this much is clear, that this committee recommended, or we can say showed some concerns in the IBC. ठीक है, we are going to read what are the problems. तो इन्होंने सिर्फ IBC में ही प्रॉब्लम नहीं इरेज करी है. They are talking about NEFRA as well. They are talking about Ministry of Corporate Affairs as well. So यहाँ पर problems जो हैं, जो concerns हैं, I have listed that down. They are saying that staff shortages are there in the NEFRA. Now what is NEFRA? NEFRA is the regulatory this is a regulatory body that looks after the companies that are listed or unlisted. Now what they look at, they oversight the audit and accounting standard. ठीक है, so they take care of the audit and accounting standard of the companies. Now this regulatory body, or we can say which has been introduced by the government, having short staff in them, right? So there is shortage of staff in them. So the committee says that how you are ensuring the quality of work that you are doing. Okay, so there is one concern which is related to NFRA. Then there is conflict of interest, lack of transparency and delays in the resolution process. Now that here they are talking about the IBC. We all know IBC, जब भी कोई company insolvent हो जाती है, they go for IBC for the resolution, right? अब वो कह रहे हैं there is a conflict of interest. Whenever we are saying conflict of interest, that means there is some problem with the interest. It is being favored to some one single party. अब ये जो conflict of interest है, इसे हम अभी समझेंगे in our next slide. अभी हम ये देख लेते हैं lack of transparency. Now they are saying कि that there is no single particular mechanism जिससे हम ये इंश्योर कर पाए that the decision that are being made by the IBC is, we can say, fair and ethical. So there is no single, we can say, mechanism here. How we can judge that whatever decision has been made is fair? Okay, so there is one missing point, which is we need a mechanism. Then there are delays. वैसे तो 330 days में we need to resolve the case, but now there are many cases wherein this deadline of 330 days has been extended by many of the cases, and this is again a concern that has been raised by the IBC, by this committee. This is standing committee. And then they are saying that poor budget utilization. Now they're saying that Ministry of Corporate Affairs are not doing their job in a right way. Whatever money has been allocated as per the budget, they are not using it properly. That means in financial year 25, they were about to use 2,667 crore rupees. But this was revised to 1078.43. ठीक है, पहले उनको budgeted estimate दिया गया था कि आपको इतने funds दिए जाएंगे so that you can provide various kind of programs, schemes for the welfare of the economy. But ये reduce कर दिया गया था revised estimates में to 1078. Now the same budget has been only used, we can say, इसमें से कितना उन्होंने खर्चा है, सिर्फ 517 crore has been, we can say, used by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. Now the committee says that they are not utilizing whatever funds are being available to them in a right way. They are not utilizing it. They are not utilizing it in, introducing any kind of schemes, in introducing any kind of programs which is good for the welfare of the economy. That means there is underutilization of funds. They are not using it properly. And this was the issue that has been raised by the committee here. ठीक है, हमने प्रॉब्लम्स देख लिया. नाउ वी विल सी द रिकमेंडेशन. नाउ द फर्स्ट रिकमेंडेशन इज पैनल रिकमेंडेड रिव्यूइंग द स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ द कमेटी ऑफ क्रेडिटर. नाउ यहां पर हम इशू डिस्कस करेंगे, कौन सा वाला? दिस वाला, conflict of interest. Why they are saying that there is a conflict of interest? See, whenever a company goes into this IBC process, or we can say whenever they go for an insolvency resolution process, corporate insolvency resolution process, this is CIRP, there is a committee of creditors, COC. Okay, there is a committee of creditors. There are different kind of creditors that are there, like financial creditors, and there are operational creditors, and there are some other kind of creditor as well. So majorly there are two types of creditors in a committee. They are saying that financial creditors are being favored many of the time. We have seen the committee says that financial creditors are being favored over operational creditors. Now operational creditors include suppliers, vendors, and so on and so forth. If I talk about financial creditor, they include banks, financial institutions, and so on and so forth. So as per this committee, they say that these financial institutions are being favored many of the times over operational creditors. That means there is no representation from the operational creditor sides, and that is the conflict of the interest, that you are favoring one group of committee, right? And there they have said that to ensure that operational creditors are adequately represented as their interests are overlooked. Many of the time the interest of the operational creditors are being overlooked. So they are saying that we need to review the structure of the committee. So they are going to review the structure of this committee of creditors. So they will recommend accordingly whatever the changes they are saying here. There is an absence of the mechanism. There is an absence of mechanism. What kind of mechanism they are talking about? They are talking about that resolution plans are submitted confidentially and fairly. Whatever plans are that are being offered to the committee of creditor. Now what happens whenever there is an insolvency process going on? There is one RP, resolution professional. This is an individual that has been designated by the IBC to look after this company's affair. ठीक है? Now this RP recommends some resolution plans. ठीक है? ये कुछ resolution plans जो हैं ऑफर करते हैं कमेटी ऑफ क्रेडिटर्स को कि आप ये वाला प्लान देखिए, डू यू लाइक इट, डू यू वांट इट टू बी रिजॉल्व्ड लाइक दिस और डू यू वांट इट टू बी रिजॉल्व्ड लाइक दिस. ठीक है? तो ये जो रिजोल्यूशन प्लान होते हैं, दे आर सेइंग कि ये क्या कॉन्फिडेंशियल है और आर दे फेयर इनफ फॉर ऑल काइंड ऑफ क्रेडिटर्स. अब इसको कैसे किस तरह से इंश्योर किया जा रहा है? वी डू नॉट हैव सच मैकेनिज्म विद अस, एंड दैट इज द रीजन द कमेटी आस्क्ड दैट देयर शुड बी वन मैकेनिज्म बेस्ड ऑन विच वी कैन से yes, whatever resolution has been offered by the RB to the committee of creditors is fair and confidential. ऐसा तो नहीं कि वो कंपनी को फेवर कर रहा है, ऐसा तो नहीं कि एक पर्टिकुलर बिग क्रेडिटर है, मान लीजिए एक बहुत बड़ा बैंक है, उससे वहां से बहुत बड़ा लोन ले रखा था, अब उसकी रिकवरी के लिए अच्छा है इसलिए उसको इस तरह से रेजोल्यूशन प्लान दे रहे हैं. एंड दैट इज द रीजन दैट दे आर सेइंग दैट वी नीड अ कॉन्फिडेंशियल एंड फेयर प्लान. The lack of robust framework for monitoring and addressing the complaints against the resolution professionals. अब फिर से resolution professional की बात आ रही है, wherein जहां पर resolution professional को देखा गया है कि that they are biased, they are favoring certain kind of creditor. अब उस केसेस में जहां पर RP के अगेंस्ट केस चल रहा है, वहां पर we need a robust framework. We don't have such thing. We lacking on that point, and that is the reason we want a framework. Next is to support the NEFRA, expanding the role, and the committee recommended accelerating the recruitment process and establishing a dedicated permanent cadre for skilled professionals. So they are saying more and more people should participate, or we can say must be recruited in this organization in order to ensure that there is a qualitative decision making that are being made by the NEFRA. Now यहाँ पर इन्होंने दिखाया that 32 out of 69 sanctioned positions were filled. तो 69 की पोजीशन निकली थी, 32 ही फिल्ड आउट हुई, तो मतलब कि बहुत सारी जो सीट्स थी वो वेकेंट रही हैं. उसके बावजूद भी दे आर डूइंग देयर जॉब, एंड हाउ दे आर इंश्योरिंग दैट वट एवर द वर्क दे आर डूइंग इट इज ऑफ utmost quality, and that is the reason they have recommended that there was a need for a clearer evidence. Now they are looking for a clearer evidence showing that NEFRA's actions include disciplinary orders, inspection, revisions to auditing standards have been tangible improvement नजर आ रही है उनमें, यानी कि they are looking for a quality. We want clear evidence of showing that quality of that audit practices which include inspection, disciplinary orders and revisions. ठीक है? I hope the recommendations are clear to you. Let's have a look on the questions. Question number 1, SEBI has recently lowered the minimum investment amount of ZCZP instruments on the social stock exchange. What is the revised minimum investment amount? Highlight the reason as well. Right, C is the right answer. Right, good everyone. SEBI has recently partnered with the DigiLocker, a government-backed digital storage platform to help investors securely store and access their demat and mutual fund holding. From which date will be initiative? Very important date. मैंने आपको बताया था. You must have to remember that. Right. April 2025 से it will be effective. Right, good. Many financial assets remain unclaimed due to investors' death, dormant account, or missing nominee details. To address this, SEBI has partnered with Dash to allow investors to securely store and access the demat and mutual fund holdings. Right. Good everyone. DigiLocker. DigiLocker is the right answer. Question number 4. A resolution professional is overseeing the corporate insolvency case under IBC. However, stakeholders raise concerns about lack of monitoring, conflicts of interest in the process. Based on the parliamentary panel recommendation, what measures could improve the oversight? So basically यहाँ पर E जो point है that is correct है. क्यों मैं अब आपको बताती हूँ. तो basically जो कमेटी है उन्होंने ऐसा पर्टिकुलर कोई रिफॉर्म या फिर पर्टिकुलरली ऐसा कोई रूल नहीं निकाला है. दे आर रिफॉर्म्स मतलब कि वो कुछ बड़ा करना चाह रहे हैं. तो ये कुछ ऐसे हाईलाइटेड पॉइंट हैं जो सब में कंट्रीब्यूट करते हैं. ठीक है, दे आर कंट्रीब्यूटिंग टुवर्ड्स दिस आरपीज ओवरसीइंग एंड दैट इज द रीजन दैट ई इज द राइट आंसर. देखिए, स्ट्रेंथनिंग एंड मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम रिजोल्यूशन का भी इट इज अ गुड पॉइंट. ठीक है, उनकी मॉनिटरिंग अच्छी होगी. इस्टेब्लिशिंग इंडिपेंडेंट रिव्यू मैकेनिज्म, एक अगर इंडिपेंडेंट बंदा बिठा देते हैं देखने के लिए व्हाट दैट हाउ दे आर हैंडलिंग द कंप्लेंट्स, तब भी ठीक रहेगा. मैंडेटिंग स्पेशलाइज्ड ट्रेनिंग एंड सर्टिफिकेशन ऑफ आरपी. ठीक है, अगर आरपी की रेगुलर बेसिस पे ट्रेनिंग होगी दिस विल आल्सो कंट्रीब्यूट. implementing a centralized online submission portal for the resolution process. तो एक ऑनलाइन पोर्टल बनाया जाएगा जिसके थ्रू ओनली रिक्वायर्ड पार्टिसिपेंट कैन सी सच थिंग्स. So that is the reason all of the above are correct. The Parliamentary Standing Committee on Finance has flagged issues in the IBC, highlighting conflicts of the interest, lack of transparency and delays in the resolution process. The IBC aims to resolve solvency case within a maximum timeline of dash days. तो कितने डेज में रेजोल्यूशन मिलना चाहिए एज पर आईबीसी? राइट, गुड एवरीवन. ई इज द राइट आंसर. 330 days में यू मस्ट गेट द वी कैन से resolution under the IBC. Tell me in case you have any doubt. Nikhil, do not think about the notification. ठीक है, you keep on preparing for the exam. Do not think about the notification. Notification is not a major concern for all of you. You just keep on preparing. Notification can come at any time. Okay, so you don't have any doubt. I hope the session was fruitful for you. I hope you liked the session. In case you have any doubt, you can simply give me a comment in the comment section. So prepare well for your examination. Best of luck for your exam. Okay, goodbye everyone. Goodbye.